because I love the people. I love, I can just see their faces and their expression.
Welcome to the Inspirational Art Association podcast, a place where artists from around the world share what inspires them with Cindy Lattimore, an art curator and promoter who brings with her 13 years of experience. Settle in, get comfortable, and enjoy the behind-the-scenes exchange with not only world-class artists, but up-and-coming talent as well.
Welcome to this episode of the Inspirational Art Association podcast. And today, all the way from Sweden, I have Erika Stenkrona. And I think I just messed your name up, and I apologize for that. But welcome. And I just found out right before we went on that her last name means stone crown, right?
Yes.
That's interesting. Yes. So, Erika, I am so grateful that you sent in the application to be in this year's show. How did you find out about this particular, the show that I do down at in Utah?
Well, I had never heard about it, and I think I was reading on this newspaper, LDS magazine or something online.
LDS Living.
Meridian or LDS Live, LDS Living, and I just saw a small ad, and I thought, well, maybe I should apply. And then I checked out the artists, and I thought, should I apply? Can I apply? And I did apply.
Yes, you did.
So it was by chance.
Well, that is interesting because I do not advertise the show. I mean, I send out call for artists and everything, but LDS Living had contacted me to do an interview. And so I did. And with that, of course, I put the plug in about the show. Wow, that is good to know that it's far reaching, because sometimes you just don't know, because the different advertising I've done through the year, billboards, the money that it costs, it just isn't worthwhile. But word of mouth has made this show so wonderful. It's amazing that I don't spend hardly anything on advertising and the word of mouth. And it's always consistent. It's always right after Thanksgiving. So people are well aware of where it's going to be. So anyway, about you, Erika. I noticed, before we start talking about your artwork that you sent for us to talk about today, I noticed in the different, on your bio, you were going to do a 2020 exhibition at the Rome Temple Visitor Center, but it was canceled because of COVID. But have you been to that, the visitor center there in Rome, or was this a one-time thing that you didn't get to do?
Well, my friend Aubrey Mema, she's an artist, and she lived in Albania. And Albania, they go to the Rome Temple. So, of course, they were there when they had the,
open house?
Open house and everything. Mm-hmm. So she met with the director. They had, I don't know what his calling was, but he and his wife had as a calling to have art shows, invite artists and musicians to the visitor centers. They would have evening with an opera singer or and art exhibitions. So she was exhibiting her art there. I can't remember what year. 29. It was before COVID. And then I talked to this gentleman, and I asked if he was, I showed him my work, and I just wondered if he was interested in me doing something, because it was 25th anniversary of the family proclamation. So I thought I could do different portraits of different kind of families, and he liked the idea, so I started working. And then you know what happened, everything shut down. And
yes, it did. my husband and I worked on the stained glass. We were the only two Americans on the team that did the Paris and the Rome. But a good friend of ours, well, Joseph Bricky, you will meet him at the show.
Yeah.
You've probably heard of him.
Yeah.
Who hasn't heard of him in the art world? But he did the mural in the visitor center. It's kind of half circle, but anyway, I was able to go down to the warehouse in Utah before they shipped it over to watch him paint on that. And so that was, and then the stained glass of the parable that's right across in the visitor center, we were able to work on that as well. But it was too bad that COVID interrupted you being able to exhibit there.
But
you know what? It's what it all works. So the piece that you sent for us to talk about today is entitled "He Doeth Good Among the Children of Men." What inspired you to come up with this piece?
Well, this was one of the pieces that I did for that show because I wanted to do a family, and I wanted to do a family that I knew. So this is my niece and her family.
Yes.
And I just asked, do you have any, because they live 2 hours away from where I live. So I asked, do you have a fun photo or something that I could use to do a portrait of your family? And she had taken this fun kind, they were sitting like this, we are the Ambeen family and we are going forward or something like that. And it was in black and white. And then I just started, doing, and I asked them what things they liked. And they liked sharks, and they liked flowers. And the husband is from Bergen in Norway, and they have this beautiful old, do you say wharf?
By the water?
Yeah, by the water. So then I, incorporated all these things in the picture. And it's, let's see, I can never remember. It's 41 times 34 inches.
Oh,
big.
Yeah, it's a good size.
Yeah. So I just wanted to do, a fun thing, fun family portrait. And I wanted to acknowledge that it's Christ that gives all these gifts to us as people.
Oh, well, I'm anxious to see it in real life when you come. And I was able to meet your sister. Yeah,
yes.
Statutory meeting. It was, she was delightful, and I'm assuming she's going to be there to help you get set up.
Yes.
On the day. Yes.
I hope so.
Well, there's plenty of people there to help out, so don't be nervous about that at all. So with your journey into what made you, or how did you know that you had this gift to explore and become where you're at with it?
Well, I've always liked to draw and sketch, and during my life in different times I've taken art classes, and I learned basics, but then around 10-12 years I realized that if I should be able to express what I really wanted to express in art, I needed more technique, and I needed to learn from the basics. So I found an artist that was educated in Florence, in Italy, and in Russia, and who had learned the classical way of painting and drawing. So I started to come to his studio. He took some students in his studio. And then I had to start just copying ears and and stuff. And, I draw the ear that I saw. Oh, and then he came and said, well, look at that line. Does it look like it does in the picture? Oh, you mean I should copy exactly?
Yeah.
So then I learned how to, learn how to see and transfer that into drawing. And I did that for a couple of years. And then it was some time when it was hard to use or to have all this knowledge, but be able to do what I wanted to have my own style. Because during art school, you were supposed to, as I said, it should be as realistic as it was.
Mm-hmm.
But my style is a little bit more naive, or what you said. But now I've come to, a good place where I can use all this technique. And this artist was just wonderful. He was, he had the right way to teach. So he didn't intimidate me. And he was very not knowledgeable and taught me a lot of things, which I'm very grateful to him for.
Well, it's like anything, you want to put your own spin on it, your own personality in it. I know there's several of the artists over the years that I've come in contact with from the States that have actually gone over to Florence, Italy, and to Russia to learn from the old masters. And then they come back with their own take on it. So with that, with the stories behind, like you just shared with your niece and her family, with those the piece that you sent for us to discuss, is that where you start to get your inspiration? Is through family, through experiences like where they live at, or do you just kind of come up with it in your head?
I think I like to take photographs, and I don't have, I was taking a class from a Russian art professor, and I asked, what do you do if you want to make portraits out of photographs? Because you could not have a live model. Oh, no, you cannot do that. You should not use photographs, but I use photographs. So when I take the pictures, because I love the people, I love, I can just see their faces and their expression and everything. So I have a large library with pictures of people. So then I use them when I do a portrait. And last year, 2 years ago, last year, I started to do more collage.
Oh, yes.
So I find I have this vintage encyclopedia, German encyclopedia from 1897 that has really, interesting maps and things. And then I started to look for old books with pictures that I manipulate them a little bit, and then I put them into, because I'm most interested in doing people. I think nature, I love nature art and everything. I love nature, but I might as well just use a picture instead of spending 40 hours doing a flower. Well, I can happily use 40 hours to draw a face or paint a face.
Yes. Well, you do a beautiful job. And I'm looking forward to you being at the exhibit the end of this month, and first of next month, November 30th through December 3rd at the Joseph Smith Memorial Building in Salt Lake City, Utah. November 30th is you have to have a ticket to get in, but the rest of the days, 10 to 9 each day, you can come in all day long and meet you and hear your story. And we're lucky this year. We've always had somebody from we're a worldwide organization, And so this year, I think we have 3 or 4 from across the waters. And so I'm excited for you to come. And I'm so glad that we were able to connect. Our time difference is a little
Yes.
tricky there, but we were able to make it work and meet face to face. And I look forward to seeing you. And just, are you going to come over in time for Thanksgiving? Enjoy our Thanksgiving, or are you going to come?
Yes, I will come a week before the 30th. So,
Great.
I can say this. I'll just add that this painting is in the Church History Museum.
Oh, this particular piece is? Oh, so you won't have
Yes.
this piece to show. Okay.
No, but it's
So we're not
hanging
far.
right.
We're not far from
Yeah.
the building, so they could
Yeah.
just walk on over there and take a look at
Yeah.
that. So yes.
And actually, they bought this piece.
Oh,
the museum. Yeah. So. I'm
well, good for
very
you.
honored.
Good for
Yeah.
you. Yes. So you've learned all about the copyright laws and all those type of fun things when you sell your piece to an organization.
Yes, I hope I did. I signed things and was
Yeah.
thinking that I guess I need to learn some more.
There was one year that I knew that the church owned the rights to this particular piece, but when I asked the artist, "Are you sure we can display this?" "Oh yeah, it's not a problem." Oh, guess who came opening night? Those that they made him take it down, that's for sure, because they owned the rights to that piece.
Yeah.
So I had a feeling that wasn't going to fly, but then of course I didn't know what he signed away, because you can sign away partial and so forth, so on. But so next day he had to come and put something else up in that place. Anyway, you just go with the flow. Well, Erica, I'm glad we were able to talk and get to meet each other, and I look forward to seeing you. And thank you so much for taking the time and letting all of those out there that are planning on coming to the show get to know you. So we will see you in a few weeks.